Everybody that I know that's been in the military in most capacities has tinnitus coming out of the military for one reason or another, right? And I believe that most veterans, should be able to go and claim that and, get their 0 or 10%. Right now it would be 10%, but maybe in the future it's going to be 0. However, some tinnitus that's constant ringing in your ears causes migraines, headaches, light sensitivity. It causes all that. And if you have all those, that may not be coincidence. Let's talk about that today. Hey, welcome back. My name's Steve. I'm the host of Veteran to Veteran. Thank you very much for coming to the channel and checking this out. We're in second week of our secondaries series that I'm building on based on, viewer input from a poll that I had put out there. Please remember to check the posts in the community from time to time, because I will put polls out there to see what people want to see more of. Secondaries was one of the big ones, so we're rolling with that. All right, so before we get started, please remember to like, share, subscribe, watch the video all the way through. All of that helps me get more of this information out to more veterans. That's my main goal with this channel. So let's talk about migraines secondary to tinnitus, right? Let's talk about what tinnitus is first, and then we'll talk about the connection with migraines, and then what you'll need to do to make sure that you can connect these two. If you already have a diagnosis for tinnitus, that's great. It sucks and it's great, right? Just like my last video, if you have a diagnosis already for PTSD, that sucks, but it's great for your claims. So, tinnitus is a constant noise input to your brain neurologically, okay? It's neurological overstimulation is what it is. Over time, this overload can trigger migraine pathways, especially in veterans with noise exposure. Working around jets, working around vehicles, any kind of artillery, any kind of firearms, any kind of combat, etc. Hearing protection only does so much, and most of us are left with a beautiful little constant ringing in our ears saying "ee" for the rest of our life. But it can actually push those migraine pathways. So it can really start getting to you when it comes to, just the full-blown neurology of that. And you need to understand that migraines themselves have a specific criteria that they need as well. Now, if you have tinnitus, you probably either have or will develop migraines over time. Bad headaches, light sensitivity, all of it. That's all migraine stuff, right? So you need to be very, very tuned in on that. So what does the VA look for? Well, the VA doesn't rate migraines on how bad they feel. Sorry. The VA rates them on whether or not they're prostrating. Now, prostrating has nothing to do with your prostate. Do not get concerned. Okay. Prostrating means they make you basically to the point where you cannot do anything. Migraines come in and you can't concentrate. You have sensitivity to light. Your head hurts really bad. The ringing in your ears just explodes. And the only thing that you can do to get any kind of relief is by laying down somewhere, dark room, maybe an ice pack will help you here and there. Maybe a heating pad will help you here and there. Everybody has a little bit different about how their body, reacts to this. But prostrating is the headache has forced you to stop working, stop hanging out with your friends, stop having family time. How it impacts your work and your social life are very important with migraines, okay? If you have to lie down, you're going to miss work. You're going to cancel plans. If you don't have to lie down, but you can't get out of your house, or you're going to miss work because you can't concentrate, just can't focus on what's being done, That's the stuff that matters. Prostrating means interrupting your life. And quite honestly, the best, the most productive way to prove that is to have to lie down, quiet room, dark room, etc. Now, let me preface this next area here. We're going to talk about why veterans underrate themselves, but I want to preface this with, don't lie. Don't make up a story. If you don't have freaking migraines that are prostrating, don't go after them, man. Listen, the VA is cracking down on fraud. You do not want to get caught in that situation and have to pay back all this money that you get from them. There have been plenty of fraud cases out there that they're going after now. And man, I just hate to see any veteran go through that. Be honest about what you got. Be honest about your diagnoses and the connections, and then do your work and make those connections if you really have them, okay? So, why do veterans underrate themselves? Well, most veterans downplay their symptoms, not only at C&P exams, but just in general. They're like, man, I got a headache, so I'm just gonna keep working and suck it up, right? I manage, I push through, I suck it up, embrace the suck, all those things. Listen, when the VA hears that at a C&P exam, if they see it in a personal statement, you've just knocked your claim out the window. And quite honestly, you're not taking care of yourself health-wise. So, listen, I manage, I push through. If that's the case, say it, be honest about it, roll with it. Just don't expect to get service connected, quite honestly. The VA hears you say, I push through. And what they hear is not prostrating. They hear embrace the suck, not prostrating. That's not good for your claim, right? And again, I'm not telling you to go out and make crap up, but if this is really you, then man, you really need to try and get some good help, honestly. So, if you already have tinnitus, migraines are one of the most overlooked secondaries and one of the most misunderstood. Now, in order to connect the two, like I said, you need to get a nexus letter. Another thing that you can do is build up a solid personal statement and buddy statements, okay? Migraines are very subjective. Tinnitus, is hard to disprove, but migraines are very subjective, and the VA looks at every single one, every rater. They follow their M21 TAC 1, they follow the guidelines in the 38 CFR, but every single person out there interprets things just a little bit different than somebody else. And you don't want that to blow up your claim, right? So make sure you do your homework, make sure you get rocking with this. If you need personal statement help, buddy statement help, there's a link in my link tree in the channel. You can get out there, and I wrote a free GPT for ChatGPT that'll help you build up your personal statement and or statements from other people that will support your statement. Make sure that if you do personal statements, your statement has to be there, and your buddy statements or lay statements have to support your statement. All right, cool. Get after your claims, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.